All right, we're back.
With weapons.
Yeah, but took a little break there, and now we're moving on to questions from Studio Red Band. But
Hmm.
thank you once again to Grand Theft Ruben. We got we got two questions from Studio Red Band. Great guy here, Matt Thomas.
Hmm.
Question for Mario: how did you get into LARPing?
Oh yeah, this is a good question. When I saw this, I'm like, oh, we're gonna go into a deep dive on something that's a little unexpected. Now, for those of you who do not know what LARPing is, it stands for live action role play. If you've ever seen the films Role Models, Knights of Badassdom, and I think there's also a couple episodes of some recent shows that deal with it. But if you've seen those two films, you got a vague idea of what it is. Role Models, the LARPing in that film is more a game, whereas in Knights of Badassdom is actually more of akin to how an event will go minus the demonic possession. I think we mentioned that on film earlier, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't remember if that was actually in the actual thing or if that's B-roll, but either way, it could be many different genres. I was introduced to it through the more game nature part of it, so more akin to what we see in Role Models via my friend Jeff. Those of you not familiar with my channel, Jeff has been my best friend since high school. We met in an English class when I was reading Dracula. Not wasn't told by the teachers to read it. It was of my own volition. Like, you guys got to read for a certain amount of time each class. Is like, what on the shelf have I not read yet? Oh, Dracula. It's good. And just started from there. He found out about it through another friend of his, and he told me about it. And I'm like, all right, we'll go. We'll go one day. Met Mitch and the others through there, and just started there. Did a lot of the practices, and then once 2011 showed up, that's when the whole van accident happened. But from the practices, I started to learn more about the different types of LARP, the different games, some of the battle systems. Which, if you are familiar with D&D or any of those type of tabletop role-playing games, LARP does function a little bit like that. But it's if you were to take the skill set in the gaming mechanics and you're actually doing it.
Okay.
So, like, let's say you're gonna dress up like the character. Say you're playing a wizard character or robes and all. You're wearing the robes. So there is a little bit more stuff involved with it. Like, you got to get fizz reps.
Oop. I think Mario's breaking up a little bit. All right, you're back now. Here
That's
you
good.
go.
You got to make sure everything passes inspection. You got to get fizz repped. Depending on the race your character is, there's going to be some makeup involved. For example, in the gaming system we normally would use, there is a race called the Korgan, which is that game's take on the dwarves. One of the requirements for them is you got to wear gray makeup at least on your face. And I've only seen like a couple characters play that race, but that's what it is. Just like with elves, you got to have the pointy ears, and it's not really a race. It's more like a sub thing you add onto a race. But it was what my character was, where you got to have markings in order to signify that that's what your character is. And what the hell? Oh, film case fell. I'll get it later. But they have to be face or anything other places. And of course, you got to use that for makeup, which it's annoying having to do. Well, all right, that's how I'm marking again, but it helps fizz up the character. And like if you were to design a character for film or whatnot, it'd be the same process. You got to do this every time. Of course, that's not as tedious as if you have to put on latex and all that. Like if you watch all those behind the scenes things for the different Star Trek shows, you see just how long it takes to put the makeup. Like Neelix or hate him, you gotta excuse me, Neelix or hate him, you gotta at least respect the actor for going through all that process of getting the makeup on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like very time consuming. Got to show up to the set at 3 a.m. Oh boy, 3 a.m. Yeah. Well, from the system and all that, we went to our first games, delved more and more into LARP, fell more in love with it. Started adding more and more stuff to the costume. Like my base costume for my character Anza is still just armor on my wrists, my one black armor piece, which we mentioned him already with Chris Notarali. For one of his fan films, which is still in the works, he borrowed that one, so I don't have it on me. Which that one, it's still, I don't know if he's still actively looking right now, but I know it's on the back burner until he can find an actress to do it, because the actress he was going to have play it before kind of gave him the finger and walked away from the project just randomly. But going back to the thing is like adding more stuff to it. And for some characters, I have a vague idea of what to use for. I do have other stuff like the character that I did for Dystopia Rising that I eventually am going to transfer to my, or transplant, I should say, to my friend's Japanese LARP game. I have a set of armor out there that I'm going to use at least for the chest one, which that set actually is a film prop.
Oh, that's cool.
From it's from 47 Ronin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because we all know that film underperformed at the box office, even though the trailer does give you an indication of what type of film it is. I mean, it's based on that story of the 47 Ronin, but it's not like historic, based in the history of it. It's like if you were to take the premise of what they did with 300 and tell a story inspired by it, but very romanticized, and you did like a live-action anime version of it. That's essentially what the trailer for 47 Ronin tells you the film's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what they did is that they auctioned off a lot of the props and all that, the armor sets. My friend James found out about it. He let us know, and they auctioned them off, I guess, to this one store that sells them, and they were going fast. A lot of our friends in the community went and got them. I ended up getting some odds and ends, like I got the one suit. It's not one of the lead ones. My friend Mitch got one of the lead ones, like the red suit one.
Yeah.
Another friend we got the boar hide one. The one I got is like it's like the grunt soldier one, but it's still a nice one. And then I also got some shin ones that I've actually repainted since I originally got them. I think they were like a slight blue or an off silver when I got them. Mm-hmm. Now they're like a dark bronze color, like an oil painted bronze. And I plan on using them for that. Of course, when you look at them up close, you could see how they were kind of made.
Yeah.
And you're just like, okay, this one was made out of that material to look good on screen, but when you look closer at it, outside of the film lighting, you're like, ah. And also, depending on like how much focus is going to be shown on the item on camera, like the armor that they made for a scene involving Keanu Reeves, obviously they're going to make sure all the minute details on that look good.
Yeah.
More so for like the acting scenes.
How much for this? Was that up for sale or anything, or Keanu's? Or
I think they might have had a couple sets of the one he wore in the fight scene. Because he only really wears armor in one of the big fight scenes, and that's the one where he's basically taken the place of a character that I forget if he was sick or got knocked out. But then it's what leads to him getting sold off, because when they find out it's not the actual guy under there, the Emperor stops everything. He's like, "You are not samurai." And then he has him beaten. And then he ends up in the fight pit thing that we see in a couple of the trailers. That's where that weird guy with the tattoos on the poster comes from.
Yeah.
I guess he had scenes deleted. Or he definitely looks like a guy that came out of an anime. Like if you were watching Rurouni Kenshin and you saw this guy walk out, you'd be like, okay, he does not look out of place.
I was wondering like how much would a piece of armor like that is worn by Keanu would go for. Like
if they had actually sold it at a full-on auction instead of like a quick auction to get rid of stuff, it probably would have gone for a pretty penny, especially if you could actually show it was actually worn by him and not a stuntman or anything. But I think they sold it all at auction, like as bulk, just to get rid of it as quickly as possible.
Okay. And
then the place that bought it started selling it off individually. And it was still nice to be able to get the odds and end pieces.
That's pretty neat, though.
Yeah, yeah, definitely is pretty neat. Like whenever I get around to reviewing that film, I'll probably show that stuff off on camera. I mean, I do have a couple photos of me wearing it,
I'm about to say, yeah, wear it if you review it.
like for my Sub-Zero pictures that I took at LA Comic Con a couple years ago. The shin pieces, that is the shin piece. That was one of the repaints I did on it, but then I repainted it again after that when I actually made my actual shin pieces for that costume that are in my more recent photos of it. Like can't really see it in that one, but the one where I'm actually the one that's my current Facebook photo where I'm actually doing the Sub-Zero raise arm pose.
Yeah.
I was wearing it during those photos. But that one's off camera. Now the chest armor one I also used at LA Comic Con a couple years ago when I was that Samurai Oni one, the one with the like gray blue face paint I had on.
Hmm.
That chest piece, that's that chest piece. I don't know how big it would be on me right now. We could probably have to tighten it a bit more to make it a little snugger, but it fit pretty well.
Yeah.
It's definitely interesting to see all the stuff up close. But yeah, that one would be good for that LARP game. Then, like some of the, like they're out of reach and I don't want to move stuff, but learning all the foam smithing stuff, like, and this is just a coincidence, but one of the videos I found on here on how to make LARP swords, an easy way to make foam swords, was done by one of the guys I actually met through Dystopia Rising, which I thought was pretty cool.
Okay, that's cool.
And then, meeting people, making new friends, learning more stuff. All the practices. It's one of the things I kind of miss a lot more, especially since due to my work before everything, I wasn't able to attend a lot of them. And then once I got good, or should I say better days off, kind of got a little lazy about going, like, yeah, I'll go next week. And then when everything hits, it's like I should have gone.
Yeah.
Should have gone to a couple of them when I had the Saturdays off. Because now for that, it's like, okay, once you're doing it, got to see if anybody has that day off.
But your plans on doing it again, right?
Yeah, because right now they're not holding them due to everything still. But once they do, I'm gonna look into like, okay, what Saturday is that? Okay, I already have it off. All right, I'll go.
Awesome.
But it should be fun, and I just wonder once everything is clear again, which one of them is gonna hold a game first. Like I know if James holds one of his Japanese ones first, I'm gonna like quickly make. All right, let's see. I'll quickly do the character sheets, send them in. Like, all right. Because with that one, I also did another character that was an easier design one, which was a Oni one, which that was the one where I had the devil horns and the red face paint. I think you might have seen that I had as a profile pic for a while.
Yeah.
That one was fun, being able to speak with a more gravelly voice for when we did that at the test game, and then having the little quirk where he's afraid of Kappa. That was fun when he just threw Kappa randomly and I'm like, ah!
Sounds like something I would like to try. Like it'd be fun
Oh, yeah.
to kind of do it one time.
Yeah, LARP is fun. I know with Dystopia Rising they have like different games in different parts of the country because ours was just the SoCal one. I know there's one in Florida. I know there's a couple up in the New Jersey, New York area. I don't know. I think the Florida one might be the closest one to you, but I haven't checked the map showing them all. But you'll be like, you just type in LARP in your area, you should be able to find one.
Okay.
If not, even it's just like how close it will be. That'll be the issue. Like I think it's mainly the areas that have a higher percentage of people tend to have more groups. It's just like with cosplay and conventions and all that. Like
Depends on where you are.
yeah, like not like with the conventions. Look how many they have in Texas, Illinois, California, Nevada, and all that. Even over in New York and all that. There's a lot of them, and then like where you live, how many conventions do they usually have throughout the year?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Uh, I haven't been to a convention in over a year now.
The fatigue's setting in a little bit, isn't it, amigo?
Yeah, I'm ready to go back.
It's like he's part of the stir crazy. It's like, ugh.
Hey, there's a Carolina Fear Fest coming up, I think in May, but if it's like the last one, it's not a big one, but I think I went to that back in 2019, and that's where I met Miko Hughes and Michael Berryman. So,
You didn't give him any chicken, did you?
no. You know what's stupid is when I met him, he was wearing a Crow T-shirt, and I forgot at the time. I was like, I complimented on the Crow T-shirt. And he's like, "Thank you, it was great working on it." I was like, "Wait, you were in the Crow?" And I forgot all about that.
Oh yeah, that he played.
The Skull Cowboy.
Yep, a character that never saw the light of day fully, sadly.
But and I know he had the last question here. What are Chad's thoughts on Cardi B? Well, Chad's not here right now. I kicked him out. I think he went running down the street. So I'm sure if he was here, which I'm not going to let him back in the house. He's trying to get back in and take over the chair and the channel, but it's not going to happen. But I'm sure he loves some WAP.
Yeah, that's one of those ones that it's one of those weird songs. It's like, what the hell?
But no, Chad's not here. I kicked him out, so and hopefully he's not coming back.
Yeah, WAP. If you could break down what's wrong with pop music with just one phrase, that would be it.
Exactly. But
Like I mentioned before, that Bert looking up meme, that sums that up.
don't get me started on that. But thank you for the questions, Matt. Studio Red Band, another great guy. And
They were perfect.
And the last three questions are from Total Meltdown 2. What are your thoughts on the upcoming Creed 3 and the Creed series of movies?
To be honest, I haven't seen either Creed film in their entirety yet. I've seen like bits and pieces, like the initial conversation between Drago and Rocky in the second one.
Yeah.
And I've seen some of the trailers for both of them. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah, I've seen, to be honest, I'm not big on the Creed movies. I've seen both of them. Just not, to me, the first one I just felt it was just a rehash of the first movie, and I didn't even care for Michael B. Jordan's performance. And Creed 2, it's like, okay, we got to humanize Ivan Drago, and, we got to, that he's a father, and he has to reconnect with his son, and I'm like, just not for me. Creed 3,
Yeah.
I just don't look forward to.
Yeah, I think they mainly did that for fans of the series who were not high on the fourth one.
Yeah.
And also as a way to try to wiggle him back in, because how else can you really bring Drago back in without showing more of him other than, well, for lack of a better way to describe how he is in the fourth film, kind of the monster heel.
Yeah, how was Drago able to conceive? I mean, the steroids he took and being the machine that he was, you wonder how he was able to have a child. But
It was with science.
yeah,
They injected that man with too much science.
but yeah, Creed 3 just I know Michael B. Jordan's directing, but I'm just indifferent and really don't care, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I'll probably wait until all three of those ones are done before I watch them. From a directing standpoint, hopefully Sly gives them some pointers on that.
But question number 2, which movies would you like to see make their way to Blu-ray that are only on VHS or DVD?
That is a pretty good one. And with how many films are sadly stuck in that void, there's a lot to pick from.
3 Men and a Baby comes to mind. I
Oh,
believe that's on Blu-ray.
I'm probably one of the few that would say it, but until recently, Deadly Dreams would have been on there, but they have it selectively on DVD, but still would have been nice for it to get the Blu-ray up.
I was trying to think of some other ones.
Even as part of one of those 4-pack sets that Shout Factory is doing for a bit. Like I think they did Exterminator 2 or something on there.
Yeah, I don't think because I think recently Rambraff did a review for What About Bob, and I don't think that's on Blu-ray.
Oh, that's a shame. That should be on Blu-ray.
I know they would not talk about the movie because of what happened, the
Oh,
rift
the
between
whole
actors. Yeah,
yeah.
but
Even though that does kind of help the film itself.
yeah, and
It
I'm trying
becomes
to think.
very believable.
Can you think of other movies that don't have Blu-ray releases?
Hmm.
I mean, there's
That's
a
a, oh, no, here's a good one. An official one. The theatrical cuts of the original trilogy.
exactly yeah, yeah. That's a big one. That should be yeah. That's at the top.
And, ac- and actually have them upped for the format instead of using a previously rendered for a different format like they did with those discs that uh damn it, they're out of reach. I have that set, those releases around here somewhere.
Man, I'm sure. Like, I know when this video is going to be uploaded, there's going to be people like, "Oh, you forgot to mention this, this, and this, and this." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, feel free, you guys, because I'm trying to think. I know there's movies out there that don't have Blu-ray, or maybe could have better Blu-rays.
Yeah, better Blu-rays. Like TMNT 1990 deserves a better Blu-ray.
Yeah, with features.
Yeah.
There's the German one, the German DVD that has features, right? But
Yeah, it has a commentary, which I believe when he reviewed it, Matt said the commentary was very technical driven.
yeah,
And I guess Steve Barron didn't come across as the best orator.
yeah,
Probably more for someone who actually is a director. Probably not for the more nor not for the general fan of the film or ones who prefer commentaries that are more exciting.
yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a couple snippets from it too, and it's like, yeah, it's very technical driven.
And I'm trying. I don't know why I'm blanking out on this one. And I don't mean to blank out, but
I know they did it, but like another one that would have been until recently would have been a lot of the Hammer horror films that were out of print and all that, like the Dracula and Frankenstein ones. But they're doing those now, and they're doing a pretty good job about it. Like, see, do I have any of them on hand right now? Nope, I don't.
let me. I'm gonna do a little. I'm gonna do a little quick search. Movies that don't have Blu-rays.
That's. Let me just. I've readjusted my.
Oh, Range doesn't. Okay, interesting. The Ghost in the Darkness. Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, that one's. I've only seen that, but it looks like one that deserves one. I mean, it's an Academy Award nominated film.
The Abyss. Yes.
Ooh. And that one's somewhere behind me too, so someone was probably saying, "Look behind you."
I know. Titan AE.
That one doesn't. Damn.
Now looking at cult movies here. Let's see here. Uh, After Hours. Freeway doesn't have a Blu-ray. The Beach. This is not the first time I've seen The Beach mentioned, but The Beach. Well, I haven't. Not that I like The Beach, or I can't remember anything about The Beach, to be honest with you, with Leonardo DiCaprio.
I think just mentioning it just made Odie mad.
Does Stay Tuned have a Blu-ray? With John Ritter?
Looking at that's Freeway, Mr. Goodbar. I think you're looking at the same list. Eye of the Beholder.
Yeah, I think I clicked on the article. It says 15 great cult movies that are not on Blu-ray. But yeah, I'm looking at different ones here, throwing out some names.
Here's what IMDb has to say as soon as this thing loads.
Private
This
parts?
is
Yeah, why not?
this is where I'd read the list. If I had one, like,
Oh man, but those are some ones.
yeah, it's like I think part of it is sometimes the studios are a little cheap, not wanting to convert some of the ones that wouldn't sell too much.
But I would say at the top for me, like The Abyss, 3 Men and a Baby, and there's ones that deserve better Blu-rays.
I'm
I don't.
scan.
Oh,
Let's
what?
see. I'm scanning down the list real quick to see if anyone jump out. Ooh, it looks like. I'm just making sure this is the list. Oh yeah, best films not yet on Blu-ray. Okay, I'm just making sure this is the right list. Apparently, the Disney 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea is not on Blu-ray.
Oh wow.
And I know that there's a rezzed up version that they could put on it. I mean, it's on the Disney Plus. A Place in the Sun. Elizabeth Taylor and Montgomery Clift.
True Lies. I just thought about that one.
You know what probably happens every time somebody brings that up in the studio? You're fired. I still haven't seen that film, too.
Which one?
True Lies.
True
It's been
Lies?
on the list. I've been
Oh,
meaning to watch it.
Oh, you have to see it. You have to watch it.
Yeah. Oh, Popeye's not on Blu-ray.
I got Popeye on Blu-ray. I just picked that up.
Oh, it is? I guess this list is a little outdated then. That's
It's the 40th anniversary, but there's no features.
Oh, that's probably why it's on here then. Is Panic Room on Blu-ray? Because it's on this list too.
Uh, I'm not sure.
Red Eye is on here. That's probably very, very niche. Let's see. A lot of these films I have not heard of that are popping up. Some of them are older ones.
Yeah, there were some obscure ones that I saw. I'm like, okay,
Oh.
never.
Here's one I have heard of. I've never seen. The Young Sherlock Holmes. Here's another one. Gunga Din.
I never seen that one.
From what I remember, I've only heard of it in two other ways. They reference it in an episode of Everybody Loves Raymond involving water. So I guess there's water in the plot. And if I remember right, when I was doing some IMDb research involving Temple of Doom, I guess that film was kind of connected to Gunga Din with how its plot is.
Yeah.
Like, let me click on it real quick. In 19th century India, 3 British soldiers and a native water bearer must stop a secret mass revival of the murderous Thuggy cult before it can rampage across the land. So see? Guess you could say it's a loose remake. You want to who plays our lead in this one? Cary Grant.
Oh wow.
That's kind of a weird thing. He goes from being in an Indiana Jones-esque film to later being in like a James Bond-esque film under Hitchcock. And then Sam Jaffe is in that one. Man, I remember as the bookman from Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Let's see. Play It Again, Sam. Looks like that's a Woody Allen film. 1972.
Yeah.
87 film called Extreme Prejudice.
Okay, I've heard of that one, but I've never seen it.
Well, there's one from 2001. That's an animated one called Millennium Actress. That's Satoshi Kon. Let's see here, that name sounds familiar. Oh, that's who it is. It's the guy that passed away about 10 years ago. He also did Paprika, Tokyo Godfathers, and Perfect Blue.
Hmm.
I guess this is the film he did in between Perfect Blue and Tokyo Godfathers. No, actually, hold on. He did it before. No, hold on. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, yeah, that's a writing credit. I'm looking for directing credit.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that was right. He did Forces, actually, after Pacific. And and Satoshi also worked on 3 episodes of that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure OVA series from the 90s. The one where one of the characters is voiced by the voice actor for Mario. It made me lose my place, so I gotta go back down. But that's interesting that film of his isn't on Blu-ray. Makes me wonder if it's not as popular as his other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I just got Perfect Blue, and I've been meaning to watch it. From what I hear, I guess Black Swan is kind of derivative of it. But
I haven't seen. Yeah.
yeah, listen. The Shadow of the Cat from 1961. Oh, okay, this is a big one. The original Around the World in 80 Days.
Huh.
That's a shame. That one should be on Blu-ray. Alright. Dead Presidents. When You Coming Back, Red Rider. Loaded Weapon 1.
Oh yeah, that deserves a Blu-ray.
Yeah, hopefully, like with all the exercise scenes on it, maybe try to get their thoughts on the film. Man, I'd love to hear what Sam Jackson has to say about this film all these years later, and see what Emilio Estevez has to say.
Do a commentary with those two.
Yeah, and even though he's only in a film for a second, it'd be interesting to hear what Charlie Cena has to say about his cameo in the film. Got anything smaller? Keep it. Got anything larger?
I need to watch that again.
Yeah. What's wrong with this cappuccino machine? I'm giving it all she's got, Captain. Of course, them taking that yelling captain trope to its thing and actually addressing it. I'm the captain here. I do all the yelling. It's pretty accurate. The captain's supposed to be the one doing all the yelling.
The Angry Chief.
Yeah. Then, of course, you get, with a Star Trek reference, it wouldn't be complete without having William Shatner in the film
Oh yeah.
as a bad guy. And then, of course, Tim Curry. Once again, proving my little thing about film. If you see Tim Curry in a film, never trust his character.
Yep.
Because he's always either the bad guy or he's the hidden bad guy. I mean, the only movie I could think of where he's not a bad guy at all, and it only is true for two of the endings, is Clue. Because in that third ending, he is the bad guy.
Yep.
Every other one, like Rocky Horror Picture Show, Muppet Treasure Island. He's not really the bad guy in Home Alone, but he's a jerk.
A jerk, yeah.
Congo.
Yeah. Stop eating my sesame cake.
Stop eating my sesame cake. Then gets killed by the gorillas. I guess you could say they weren't monkeying around.
Well, now you speak of, is Congo on Blu-ray? If it's not, it deserves to be. Maybe, maybe it is, and I'm wrong.
I'll check Amazon real quick.
Muppet Treasure Island, if that's not on Blu-ray, that deserves to be. That's a great one.
Let's see. I'm gonna have to add 1995 just to eliminate a bunch of other searches. Prime Video. I see the DVD. Hold on. Let me. Nope. I mean, if it's on Prime, that means.
Well, if it's not, it deserves to be on Blu-ray. That's a fun.
Oh, yep, it is.
Okay, never mind. Scratch to that.
Probably deserves a better Blu-ray because just look at that poster. Hold on. Just look at that poster.
Wow.
It's one of those crappy half-ass ones. Like you see the cover of the Monster Squad DVD, right?
Yeah.
Or it's like, really? That's what you did? And it doesn't help matters that there's a slip on the inside that actually has the original poster. That's why on my copy of it, I just took that slip up and slid it in the inside of the front cover.
Yeah. But
I mean, that's one thing I do like about Shout Factory a lot of the times is say what you will about how their new art has gone a little bit, but at least they still give you the option to flip it around.
Yeah, you get the slip.
Yeah, except for this one, the
It,
Psycho 2, the Psycho 2 one, they only got the original cover. But I think
well,
that might have been.
here's one I just thought of. It deserves a better Blu-ray because Inner Space. All you got on there is like a commentary with some of the cast, but no interviews or whatever.
Is it one of those commentaries where it's like slice and splice?
I haven't heard it all the way through, but no Martin Short, no Dennis Quaid or Meg Ryan. Uh,
I think we all know why.
yep. Anyway,
Here's another list that this is a fan made one from late 2019. Death to Smoochie is one that's not on there, but I think that's probably a very niche one. The Two Jakes. I think that one just came out though on Blu-ray or something. That's
John Wayne.
no, the Two Jakes is the
Oh wait, no.
that's the sequel to Chinatown that
Okay, yeah.
Nicholson directed.
I think about Big Jake.
Mm, this one on the list is pretty topical since Mike just reviewed these films. Revenge of the Nerds 2, 3, and 4.
Interesting.
Although from what he's posted about 3 and 4, I guess we can do without those ones.
Yeah.
Unless they want to put them all together in one set to try to sell them. Oh, the title on this one alone gets me. Alice doesn't live here anymore. Let's.
But there's a lot.
The Abyss, True Lies. We talked about that. Let's see, they're on that list. Let's see. Girl Interrupted. That's not on Blu-ray? Huh? Yeah, that'd be surprising if it's not. Here's another title that catches me. How to Kill Your Neighbor's Dog.
Never heard of it.
Put that one on a double set with Don't Fuck with Cats.
Yeah.
This one catches me. Pecker.
Pecker. No, wait, that's with Edward Furlong. I've heard about that movie. Right? Is that right? Edward Furlong?
Sounds like it'd be a film he was in after T2.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean there's a lot of movies out there.
Let's see. Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Okay, wow.
If that's the case, I know what I could say to those distributors.
What? Oh, sorry.
That it not being on Blu-ray is them like having their pudding without eating their meat. And I better make sure it sounds like eating, because if I'm not going to finish that sentence because I think everybody knows what I mean. Only other one I'm recognizing under this one that we haven't mentioned already, or Orange County. Huh. Guess that one's not on there. The only other one on here I recognize is The Village. That one is going to depend on how you feel about that film.
I'll pass on that one.
Yeah, that one, the colors are probably more vibrant. That's about it. Okay, that one we already mentioned, though. Yeah. Okay, here's one. Here's ones that are not on DVD. Let's see, The Keep from Michael Mann. Did we mention? The Last Movie, directed by Dennis Hopper. Oh yeah, here's a good one. Here's a good one.
What's that?
Song of the South. That is a very good one. You could find rips from the VHS release from years ago, and I believe it has been released a couple times overseas, but here nothing.
Yeah. I
And
think,
that one is very sad because that one definitely deserves to be on there just for historical purposes.
but people try to get it banned, right, or something like that,
That one, it's
or
more Disney
controversial.
playing it safe
Hmm.
because I didn't find this out until recently, but I still got to finish listening to it. But apparently, a lot of the complaints about how it presents some of the racial issues in post Civil War America were there even when the film was in production. It's just that the voice for it got louder as time went along and reached its zenith in the late, oh, mid, late not 70s, early 80s when they did that last re-release in theaters. I think it was
Hmm.
the one that last trailer comes from, and then that was the last time it's ever been seen so far in America, other than people like us talking about it like right now.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that like they should still at least release it. I mean, if they don't want to put it on the network for whatever reason, that's on them. But they should at least release it, and it would be, and this should be a release where they actually like have a full blown documentaries up the wazoo talking about the context of all the stories that are done in the animation. Talking about Disney wanting to bring the stories to the big screen. Talking about what was going on in Hollywood when the film was being made, and then also a historical documentary about post Civil War America. That'd be interesting,
Yeah.
and it would give the proper context for the film as a whole. Because it's so lengthy, you couldn't really do something like that for the network. Like, let's say, like on certain films, sometimes they'll splice something in before the film, like the Alien director's cut that Ridley Scott edited. How there's that brief little thing with him before the film.
Hmm.
Like you can't really explain all the stuff involving that film in like a less than 5 minute roll, or even like something on like what they do on Turner Classic Movies.
Yeah.
You have to do a big old talk thing. I mean, you could try to explain it in a brief thing, but then you're going to be leaving a lot of stuff out with it. That's one where they really need to release it. I mean, I think even Whoopi Goldberg is saying that Disney should not be sitting on it and release it. I know I believe it was her. It was like one big African American actress that was talking about it. I believe it's Whoopi. And it sounds like something she would probably say.
I've heard of it, but I remember the song, but I've never seen in its entirety.
Same here. I mean, I got a rip of it somewhere, but I was waiting for a special thing like to review it on. It's like I've seen some of the clips, and just from what I've seen, I'm like I can understand people saying it's boring, other than the animation,
Hmm.
because the live action segments do look like they kind of drag. Like remember that question we had earlier about a boring film? Would
Yeah.
probably be it. It makes you wonder if like there was nobody complaining about some of how some of those other things are handling. Would it be remembered other than, of course, the song?
Yeah.
Because that's the irony thing about it is that one of Disney's most well-known songs comes from that film.
Yeah.
And I believe it was in the late '90s when on Disney Channel they would still like show like mainly like early in the morning show like music video things on Disney Channel. They showed that one time. I remember that was the first time I actually saw any video associated with that song.
Hmm.
I guess because it's the actor mixed with animation, it's all right for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think part of the whole complaint with that film is them saying that Uncle, I don't remember what his name is. I think it's Remus, Uncle Remus.
Yeah.
He's kind of a stereotypical character, but it's like I don't, I could kind of see it, but it's kind of like the Speedy Gonzales thing, to where you could see it, but it's not, or at least how just from the clips I've seen, doesn't come across as offensive.
Yeah. That's what I don't understand.
Like people saying that Sam Jackson's character in Django Unchained, if they say his character's kind of offensive, that I could see more because he really overplays it.
Yeah.
But then the way I view that's him playing it up for everybody else because he does go more subdued and darker from a mentality standpoint once he's alone with everybody else.
Yeah.
So it seems like he's playing it up in front of the other slaves and in front of the workers, and then once they go behind scenes and they're talking more candidly, he's more his true self. mask versus his true self.
Yeah.
And I've even seen online people complaining about some of the labels that they put with some of these stereotypes. It's like, like with that one, it's like, yee. I mean, even some of the stuff I've read in textbooks and for certain college classes will throw some stuff around with it. With more modern films, like I forget the name of the movie, but is that one that John Cena did where he played a guy's older brother and Danny Glover was in it?
Was it Legendary?
Yeah, that's one.
Okay.
I guess that someone, and I forget what the rest of the article was about, but they were saying that Danny Glover's character fit the mystical. This is what it's called, so don't. So if anyone's watching, don't get triggered over this. The mystical Negro stereotype.
Okay.
It's like I haven't seen the movie, but it's like, what really?
But
It's like, it's like if there's any modern movie that I could see the complaints for labeling it like that, it would be Avatar.
I got
Is
it.
that one? Is that one? It's like really?
Well, that's a whole topic in itself.
Yeah, Avatar's like really? We're gonna do dances with wolves in space now?
Don't even get me started on the sequels.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, we got one more question from Total Meltdown too, and if we'll get to that.
Yeah.
What are some movies you like but everyone else hates, and why do you like them?
Movies that people like. I mean, movies we like that people hate. Now, from that wording, I'm going to guess it's a film that there's two ways to look at it. Either it's a film that most people really, really go off on, but you like, or maybe ones that are like mixed. Yeah, like if Effrey was asked this question, I have a feeling he'd probably say Future Kill,
Yeah,
which I still haven't seen that one. It's still on the hard drive somewhere.
yeah. Movies
Yeah,
you
I was
like
like,
but everyone else hates. I could think
yeah,
of the other way around, where
yeah.
films that people like that I don't. Creed is an example.
But would you say you hate it?
Okay, I hate Creed then. All right, there it's out of the basement. And words of Rocky Balboa, it's out of the basement now.
Insert the clip from the second Rocky. My name is Rocky Balboa.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of movies that I like everyone else hates.
Uh,
Daredevil. I like Daredevil.
oh, that's a good one. Daredevil.
Godzilla 98 I like. I know everybody. I understand the complaints. I understand. I don't know what you feel on that one, but
I like it okay. I mean, like, uh, it does kind of do the character itself some disservice, but for a fun monster time, it is good.
yeah, as a popcorn movie.
Of course, it's one of those ones, though, that when you find out what they had planned before Elmerich came in and some of his reasons for it, like him saying the phrase, we wouldn't do it like that now, it's like, oh, really? You're doing an adaptation and that's your thing?
Yeah. Or what about the other way around? Is there movies that people like or put on such a high
High
pedestal?
pedestal?
Yeah, that you don't like, that you don't agree.
Well, I don't hate the film, but I don't I don't get what people see when they say Citizen. Well, this is mostly critics when they say Citizen Kane is one of the best movies ever made. I get when they would say for its time it's one of the best films made because of how it pioneered a lot of filmmaking techniques. But it's a film that's like, it's worth a watch here and there. But honestly, for the first time watching, I enjoyed Orson Welles in Touch of Evil more.
Yeah,
I mean, he's still playing an unlikable character in that one, but he's the antagonist of that one. He's playing a corrupt cop versus Charlton Heston playing a do-good cop. Now, the thing, of course, about that movie that probably would get some people angry today is Heston's playing a Mexican in that film, but one, the film's in black and white, two, does do a good job with it. He doesn't try to put on the accent too much, senor. And, of course, they make fun of that a little bit in Ed Wood.
yeah.
Yeah, but they changed the context to make the joke a little bit because it's a scene where the Wells character in that film is talking with Ed, and they're talking about people interfering with film productions. And it's like, and they always want to have you cast your friend in there, even if it's not right for the part. Tell me about it. The studio wants me to cast Charlton Heston as a Mexican. But
But going back to what you're
that's not,
saying, Avatar. That's the one that
yeah, that
so
one.
much money that I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah. And then, of course, it just reclaimed its throne. It's like, no. It's like, I can imagine
Cameron.
once it,
That's what
it's
happened.
like,
Cameron is like, yeah, I'll
yeah.
slip you 100.
Of course, there's a Thanos line that really fits that. It's like, reality is often disappointing.
Yeah. The end game got
Yeah.
snapped by the Avatar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some people would probably, for how the question's written, I know some people would probably answer a lot of the MCU.
Yeah.
Yeah, like with that, I noticed some people, when they do their lists, they always put the Incredible Hulk towards the bottom. I was like, really?
I like that one.
Yeah, that's still one of my favorites in the whole thing. I mean, I wish they had kept the reference to Captain America in it, but
Yeah.
I mean, the more the dialogue one, because I guess in the scene where General Ross is talking to the British guy that becomes Abomination,
Hmm.
they were supposed, and what, in the extended scene, they mentioned Captain America and kind of connect the whole gamma ray experiment to it.
Yeah.
And it's like, that would have been nice. Uh, like, uh, oh yeah, but full thing with Citizen Kane, yeah. I'll say I like Casablanca a lot better than that one too. Casablanca is one of those ones that I put in the Godzilla one. I like it, but I can understand when other people don't like it.
Yeah.
Although with that one I think part of it is how often it's been imitated and parodied since.
I just thought of one. Oh, go ahead.
Because think about it. One of the lines that he says that is said in that film, seriously, it sounds like something you'd say in a parody of that type of genre because of how often it's been referenced since. Out of all the bars and all the cities of all the world, she had to come into mind.
Huh. I've never seen Casablanca. Maybe I should watch it at least once in my life.
Still has one of my favorite little movie jokes in the whole history of cinema when the bar is being shut down by Claude Range's character, who's the inspector. By what right are you shutting me down? I'm shocked. Shocked to discover there's gambling going on in here. Another guy walks in. You're winning, sir. Thank you. Takes it without missing a beat.
Yeah, I need to check out at least once. But I mean, there's just some answers right there. But thank you for the questions, Total Meltdown 2. And that's all the questions we have there. And thank you guys for the questions. But I know also you wanted to talk a little bit about theme park memories.
Oh yes, theme park memories.
Yeah, we were kind of floating around. What else can we talk about, like bring up and for discussion? And you mentioned that. I figured why not? I have some as well. So I have a couple of
Yeah,
stories.
yeah. There's a lot of theme parks and all that. Like out here, we have a local place called Castle Park. It's like one of those small ones. Doesn't really have a lot of big rides, or at least it didn't the last time I've gone. But it's been over a decade now since I've gone. And they have a Ferris wheel. They have a section of the park set up for miniature golf. They had an arcade. In fact, when I was a kid, one of the games they had in there was one of the original TMNT games.
That's cool.
I think it was two, because I think that's the one where they start the beat 'em up style, and it starts in April's apartment.
Hmm.
I think it's that one. Yeah, that was my introduction to that one. It's fun to play. They had a haunted house ride. They have one of those rides that is that UFO thing that as it shifts, the gravity pushes you back. There's a little kid going there. That's how your introduction to G forces are. You're like, go!
Or you can't move, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the gravity. We're at 3 Gs, 4 Gs, LG. Yeah, that ride's always fun to go on. And then I think they had like one weird small roller coaster, but that's about it. It's one of those ones that it's fun to go with. Oh yeah, they also had a water ride, that one of those log rides. That's fun. It's nice to spend a day, but it's one of those ones that you can't go to repeatedly too quick in succession
Yeah.
because it kind of feels like a fair or a carnival that comes to town. Like if they stayed too long, it kind of the luster would probably go away.
Hmm.
So it's one of those things every now and then to go to. Unlike, let's say, Knott's Berry Farm or something bigger like that, which Knott's is, well, that's a fun place too. I haven't been in ages though, but it's nice. We got the Jaguar roller coaster. That's always fun to go on, especially later in the day as the sun's starting to go down.
Hmm.
Never been on Montezuma's Revenge though, which is the roller coaster right next to it. That one, just watching it, it'd be fun. I forget the name of it, but it was another roller coaster that had like a very quick speed up and go.
Yeah.
Never went on that one. It's like I never went on Supreme Scream, their little drop one. Because it's funny enough, I like roller coasters, but I don't think I like those ones. But then again, I've never really been on one, so I don't know how I would enjoy it.
I like roller coasters. I think it's been like 2018 since I've been to a theme park. So
What was the last one you went to?
Hollywood.
Oh yeah,
So, um, but I have a quick story, kind of a scary one. This is back in '03. We went to Universal Studios, and I just got off the Men in Black laser tag ride, which is actually one of those where you're laying back like that and you can't move. That spins around. And I rode the Jaws ride too at that same Universal, so I was
lucky.
able to ride that. But as soon as we got off, my little brother, youngest one, got lost,
Ooh, ooh.
and he's like 3, so panic happens, and we found him, but that was scary.
Where'd he run off to?
I don't know. I think some security found him, or some lady vendor, like a vendor, found him.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if maybe I shouldn't have told that, but yeah, that's a memory that I'm like, okay, it just jumped to mind.
Yeah, one like that would be scary. Whether it's you, younger relatives, like where'd it go?
Yeah, I was like 14 at the time,
But
so
yeah, old enough that even if you got separated, you do fine. You know how to find everyone. You know, like, hey, you guys do announcements to try to find family members. Whereas when you're how young your brother is, it's always like, I mean, like Carlin even did a whole big sketch about that, or how you feel weird when you're that young.
yeah.
Like he said, you always imagine it like being like an echo. Mama, mama, mama,
And I
where
think I
are
remember
you?
riding the Terminator 2 ride. I think I remember riding that. If
Oh
they
yeah, that
if they
one
had it.
that was fun. Yeah, because I haven't been in almost 20 years, but I did go to Universal Studios Hollywood though once
Yeah.
with my cousins, my aunt, and my uncle. That was a fun day, and that was back when they still had the backdraft ride. They had the original Jurassic Park
The Twister
ride.
one.
It was when they
The
still had Back to the
Twister.
Future.
Did you remember? Do you remember the Twister one?
I don't remember that one. They had did
You
we
like,
didn't.
if I remember, this has been so long, but I think you like stand on like this sort of like a porch, like a makeshift porch or something like that, and everything is just happening right in front of you. Like you see the drive-in, and wind is just blowing, so they got like twister effects in there.
And then when and it's like, here's Johnny.
Yeah, but it's just yeah, little things like that. I remember.
I remember the backdraft one though. That one was fun. Like seeing the flames and stuff burst out. You hear the narration talking about what a backdraft is, waiting for a breath of air.
Is that Universal?
Yeah, I think I believe they got rid of that one too, which is like,
Maybe somebody out
it,
there can comment on that one.
it's sad that when they get rid of them, but then when you find out about the upkeep of a lot of these rides, like that channel that talks about, I think it's Yesteryear, where they talk about a lot of the theme park attractions that are no longer there. Like I believe in one of them, he delved into the Jaws rides, and
Yeah.
you find out like the history of the Jaws ride, how they changed it over time before they got the one that stuck for many years. It's like you look at the upkeep cost, you're like, no wonder Universal got rid of it.
Yeah.
Of course, at the Hollywood one, the Jaws ride was part of the Universal Studios backlot, which it was fun because that's near the beginning of it, and you're going on the thing, and all of a sudden you see like off to the side like the fin coming up and all
Yeah.
that.
I remember
Yeah.
like I think when you would have like little explosions or fire that would happen, it got hot because it was so close.
Oh yeah, that I remember, there was some heat in the backdraft one from what I remember. Is like because I just remember the whole general experience, not anything specific about stuff that popped out. But it probably, if someone probably had a video and uploaded it to YouTube, it'd probably come back.
Yeah.
So, but it was still fun because I remember that with how that park there is constructed, you got a lot of the stuff up to the top, and then you got the escalator or stairs that take you down to the lower part. Because this part of California is very, very hilly. Because it's over past. I think it's past like where like the well, like where the one observatory is and all that.
Yeah.
But it was. And then down there is also where the Jurassic Park ride was. Of course, that one it's like starts all nice. It's like the film. It starts all nice, serene. You see the dinosaurs. All of a sudden, you're like, uh oh.
Yeah. Then
See the Dilophosaurus chewing on a piece of a raincoat. You see more spitting at you. I don't remember if was any raptors on that one. I know there's at least two Rexes because you got a moment when you're going up to the top for the water drop. You have a moment where there's like a T-Rex head trying to stick through the top, and then at the end there's a T-Rex standing, and then that's where the water drop is.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun ride, and then they retired it, and I think they retired it 2019,
Hmm.
and then they replaced it with a Jurassic World one.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know the specifics of what they added there, but the ending one is probably going to be the Indominus instead of the T-Rex.
Okay. I don't know what they have at Universal now because I know they've replaced a lot of them.
Yeah, like I think they got rid of the T2 ride too. That was fun though, especially since that was the movie part of that was done by James Cameron.
Wasn't there? Oh wait, I remember Back to the Future one.
Oh yeah, that one. That was a fun one. I hadn't even seen the movies in years when we went and saw that one, and I still was able to follow it. It's like Biff stealing the time machine
Yeah.
again. You have
Okay.
to follow him through time.
I remember that one. Or I think what it is, it may have been that one. I'm mistaking it for the T2. Um, but I do remember Back to the Future.
Yeah, it's like the car moves with all the things.
Yeah,
You go
you're
back.
moving like this inside. Yeah.
You go to the dinosaur. When you're in the time thing, you're about to hit the lava, and then the car starts up again. You gotta get. I think you get to the T
Yeah.
Rex mouth at one point. I think you even chased Biff into the future.
Yeah.
But it was a very fun ride. It's like I don't get why they got rid of it, other than it's like we got to get rid of it and put it with the Simpsons because the Simpsons will be new. But even then, I don't think the Simpsons ride is as popular or well received as that one was. Although it is kind of nice, they do include a reference to the Back to the Future ride in the opening for the Simpsons ride.
Oh, they do.
Where, yeah, where the scientist guy hears that, sees, he's looking over the history and he's like, this is where where the Institute for the Future had to be demolished and Krusty bought the land and he's like, I must prevent this from happening.
Yeah.
And he goes back to the past and it turns out he's the one that causes it. Because I guess he runs into something in ruins, Doc Brown taking out a loan is like, oh, thanks to you, now I have to sell my land to that mercenary clown. I have created a time paradox.
Man.
Yeah, they even got Christopher Lloyd to actually voice the animated Doc Brown. That's the thing I like about him. He seems to, no matter whatever it is, something to do with Back to the Future, he's always willing to come back for it.
Yeah, I saw him in a trailer recently, like a comedy with William Shatner. Not, it's kind of like a grumpy old men take. I forgot what it's called. I don't know. It didn't. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. I was
Like
kind of indifferent on it.
so it's like the thing we were talking about earlier with comedies.
Yeah, it's kind of. It looks. I think there was like a fart joke in there. I'm like, man, come on.
And meanwhile, in the back of the room, fart jokes are cool.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I can see a movie with these two guys, but like a indie comedy that now you have humor like that in there. I'm like, come on, man.
It's like, yeah, it doesn't seem like it works with those two.
Oh, but I mean, I can't. I mean, I mean, they're just memories, but I'm trying to think of like other ones.
Like, see,
I haven't been in a while.
the ET ride was fun.
Mega Messamania. This is back in like King's Dominion, 94, because we had the. This is when Nickelodeon was big, and they had recorded it on a tape, like an orange tape, and we had
Oh,
that tape for a long time. And my brother got on the stage. He was only 2 at the time, and he got. If you type in like on YouTube Mega Messamania, they would have these shows at King's Dominion. I mean, you don't have to look it up right now, but if you want to look it up later, and we were at that show. This is probably in April, May '94, so I was 5. But yeah, they would have like these shows, and
oh yeah, there.
we had it.
Nickelodeon's Mega Messamania. There.
Yeah. So we were at the 1990, which is I've been trying to track that tape down. We had the tape for the longest time, and I think we may have thrown it away.
That's
Uh,
memories. You never throw away memories.
but I don't know what happened to it. If it got thrown away by accident, or it just got destroyed, or
I could see it. I mean, when we were clearing out, they were going to throw away a lot of VHS tapes, but I still have some of them. Like, I don't know why they did this one, but this one is one that they recorded some of the stuff when Princess Diana died.
oh wow,
Probably some of the news footage. And then, or this one I think is more important, at least from a personal standpoint. I mean, I got, I think this is the right one. It's one of the ones here. I got the video for my 5th birthday up here. And
oh wow.
I've been meaning to convert it.
If there's a way to convert, because I have tapes, recorded tapes, but I have to look at some of those. But anyway, I mean that's kind of like Mega Mess Amazing. If I could ever find that tape, but I don't know.
Be a gold mine.
It would. For my maybe you could spot me in the crowd. I was with family, but my brother was able to get on stage, and he got slimed with chocolate.
Chocolate?
Yeah, he was like in
Did
a
you
banana car.
Did you say chocolate?
Yeah. My brother he would never remember. He was like 2 years old. But at the time when they pulled down the like this thing full of chocolate, at the same time his helmet fell off. So the chocolate he got doused in chocolate syrup, chocolate sauce, whatever it was.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's in my raccoon wounds.
But that's a crazy show. I mean, that was a
That does sound crazy. I've never even heard of it that I can, or at least that I remember. But it does sound like it'd be an interesting one to watch.
but for kids out there our age, if you're around that, I mean, Nickelodeon at that time was 94. That's peak Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's kind of a couple of
I mean,
memories there.
that's a time where they were doing Rocco's Modern Life,
Yep.
where they had probably the most dirty joke you wouldn't realize at first.
Oh,
The
wait, I
name
think I know what you're talking about. Uh, what is it? I know what you're getting at.
Their favorite place to eat, the Choky Chicken.
Yeah, the Choky Chicken. Yep.
Except for the last season where they finally cut on and had to change it to Chewy Chicken. Of course, it also has one of my favorite references to a film. Choky Chicken is people. Choky Chicken is people. Choky Chicken is people. Family of chickens are walking in. Oh, thank goodness.
Man, and speaking of Nickelodeon, the Orange Years, a pretty good documentary about that era of Nickelodeon that I think people should check out.
Yeah, I miss a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, and they talk about kind of when SpongeBob came along, they started to become more corporate, and Dora the Explorer, made a lot of money for them, and they got away from what really brought them to the dance. And
Yeah, they would still do some interesting looking shows and all that, but then they'd have a lot of weird ones
yeah,
like that one with the fast food workers that was done with puppets. What was it? Was that one called Fat Boy and Chum Chum? I think.
I forgot.
Then they had Cat Scratch, which was all right. Only one I really remember from that time period are like it was My Life as a Teenage Robot, which I thought was all right. It was interesting. It had a Teen Titans parody in one episode.
Yeah, to be honest with you, when SpongeBob came along, even at 10 years old, uh, it really dipped for me. And like, I guess like me caring about Nickelodeon as much as I used to.
Yeah, I still watch SpongeBob, but that was really the last of their shows I really got into. But even then, that kind of died off after the movie. But looking back at it now, because that's when a lot of the original writers left,
Yeah,
so did so the writing changed a lot, so it wasn't as engaging.
yeah,
But that's what happens when a show runs too long. I mean, look, SpongeBob, I think is still going right now.
yeah. 20 years. Yeah,
That and look at a lot of other shows with similar runs. Look at The Simpsons. Look at
Family Guy.
Family Guy. Of course, from what I've been reading in different comments on YouTube, since I've been seeing a lot of those clips, it seems like Seth has actually been doing a lot of that intentionally to try to get canceled again by the studio, and it's not working.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know what else to add.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of it. Like, I mean, going back to theme parks. I mean, there's a couple of stories right there for you.
like, you ever been to Disney World?
Yeah, but that's a long time. Like, I can't remember that.
Like, it's like when you were your brother's age when he got lost.
Uh, I want to say they did take me to Disney World, but I can't remember anything from Disney World, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I've been to Disneyland 3 times. The first time it was like that. So young I don't even remember it. The only reason I remember I went is because one, my grandmother says we went, and two, I don't have them anymore, but I used to have a pair of those mouse ears.
Yeah.
Second time I went with my dad, my aunt and uncle, and my cousins. It's one of the last positive memories I have of doing something with my dad. Because before his mind went more. It was a nice day. Got to go on a lot of the big rides. It's the only time I went on It's a Small World.
Yeah.
It was they had it all Christmasified, so there was like some Nutcracker stuff in there. It was a long line to get in though. We got our picture taken with Mickey.
Yeah.
Say smile for the camera, or else. Okay, that's probably what we imagine the character saying, but probably person in a suit is, oh god damn it, when's my break?
Yeah.
Yeah, she went on the Indiana Jones ride once. There was a line for that one, which is funny because the last time I went in '03 with my friend, it seems like all the line was over at Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
Because that line was out to the ending of the gate and going out a little bit. It was like a 2.5 hour wait.
Wow.
But the line for Indiana Jones, non-existent.
Hmm.
So we spam rode the crap out of Indiana Jones. It was just fun. I don't think we went on the Jungle River one that time. I went on it when it went in the '90s. Now that was a fun little ride.
I heard there was I think it was Disneyland or World, but there was a Honey I Shrunk the Kids kind of play park.
Oh yeah, that was at Disneyland had that. I remember seeing that. That was fun. It was like the other ones where you get the 3D glasses. I believe the room moves a little bit. It's like Honey I Shrunk the Audience. Can't you keep your shrink ray under control? Like,
But,
for him.
over the years, it's been for me like Dollywood a lot, Busch Gardens, King's Dominion. Uh, See, I haven't been to like Universal in almost 20 years, and
Yeah.
or
Seems like
Disneyland.
yeah. Six Flags Magic Mountain's fun. I mean, I went to that a lot when I was in high school because it was our JROTC unit's end of year trip, and
Yeah.
then it was also the senior trip. So my senior year, I got to go twice in quick succession. The only part about that sucked was that was when I had gained a lot more weight. And as embarrassing as it sounds, there were certain rides I couldn't fit on properly anymore. Like the first year we went in '04, that's when they had just opened up Tatsu,
Yeah.
which it's hard now to imagine. Like, damn, that ride's been around almost 20 years. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And it was fun going on that, being able to fly and feel the G forces during one of the turns. Which I've been on that ride a handful of times after that. I only remember feeling it during the first one. So I don't know if they slow it down a bit more at that turn or if it's one of the things that you really notice more when you don't feel it coming.
Yeah.
But it is a nice little thing to see the park quickly through that. But then that last time I went, I only did it the first time of the two I went that year, but not being able to fit on there safely to where I couldn't go on, it's like I have never felt so embarrassed. Thankfully, there were still rides I could go on. I could still go on Riddler's Revenge. I mean, because of how that ride's situated, it's one of those ones that you're like standing there like, oh, this is gonna chafe in the morning, but it's still fun. I don't remember if it was that time or a previous one where Jeff scared the crap out of a kid behind us because as we were going up, he was starting to quote Beavis from the movie when they were in the airplane. Wait a minute, what's going on? Ah, we're gonna die! We're all gonna die! Kid behind him starts freaking out, and as he's freaking out, that's when the roller coaster starts going down his first roll.
Man.
Yeah, then kid still fit on Batman, so that was good.
Yeah.
And then that last year is when they had just opened up another new roller coaster, which you forget the name of it. But that one was fun, and they'd actually built the straps to fit bigger people, which that's how you can tell at that place how old a roller coaster is without having to check the year. Because Viper was made, I believe, in '72, and even the last time I went in 2019 after I lost a bunch of the weight, I could still barely get the straps down on me
Mhm.
because it's like that tight. I mean, I can, suck it in a little bit, get it comfortable. Like, yeah, it's not going to come loose, and it doesn't have any like crazy turns where I'd have to worry anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like Tatsu where it's like that. Like, yeah, you might not want to, but it's like, dang. The- Yeah, that one was fun to go on at night. Last time I went, going on that one at night, seeing a little bit of the wider part of the park as we're going up to the first drop.
Here's a random question. Have you ever been to Planet Hollywood?
No, it's been on the list to go.
I have, but that was in Florida, I think. I think it was near Miami.
Oh, good
I'm
old
just guessing.
Miami.
I think that's the one I went to, but how many of those are left? I don't know. There's probably maybe one
I haven't
or
been to
two.
Planet Hollywood. I have eaten at one of Gordon Ramsay's restaurants, though.
No.
His burger place in Vegas. We ate last time we went there. Here's the thing I'll say about it is that the food is a little pricey for burgers because like if you go to like Red Robin or something, you order burgers, it comes standard with fries.
Yeah.
This place, the fries you cost extra right off the bat, and like all the burgers like around 15 something,
Mhm.
which you kind of expect it since it's Vegas. And if you don't really want fries, like I didn't want fries, that's fine. But then with how they have the food, set out on the plate, you're like, okay, I can see why they cost that much. Because you
Yeah.
know how Gordon Ramsay is when it comes to presentation.
Yeah.
It's like it's a feast for the eyes before it's a feast for the gut.
But I mean, yeah, I think that's all I have for now. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, because yeah, it would
I know
probably should have made some notes for that one.
Are you good? Are you good? No, because I'm kind of like I can't really think of any more memories because I've been to quite a few over the years, like theme parks. Some of it kind of blurs in.
Yeah, they meld together
Yeah, it melds together. Yeah.
like with the Magic Mountain ones. Most of those trips kind of meld together, other than that one from the last one. And the only other thing that pops in is like random moments, like we're gonna die.
Yeah.
And of course, Jeff flipping off the camera. One time I took a photo, which I still have that photo somewhere. It's one of the many photos I got to actually scan into the computer.
Hmm.
And of course,
But
that was the only time we went with another guy to hang around. That guy kind of became like a little bit of a jerk afterwards. Stole some stuff from Jeff. Of course, Jeff got the last word on him with revenge by leaving him someplace
I'm
and
trying to
having
think
him.
if now you got me thinking if like if I ever got in trouble at a theme park, and I can't remember if I ever did. I may have been mischief, but
Like nothing to the point where you gotta be like, "You're coming with us."
yeah.
Yeah, I never had that happen either.
But
Yes. Yeah. The only thing that kind of sucked about the last time I went to Six Flags was that the Superman ride doesn't go up as high as it used to.
I've never been to Six Flags.
I think for that though, it's because of how I think a couple people have fallen out or something since
Yeah.
the last time I went on it. 'Cause- which is one of those ones because it goes straight back and then goes up and then comes back down.
Hmm.
You can see like if someone doesn't put it in right or if someone decides, hey, I'm not going to put it on. What's the worst that could happen? You can see how they'd be like, oh my god, and then as the thing comes back, yeah.
That's the ones that scared me. Like the like when you go up and they drop you.
It's just like the idiots that I think it was on Batman or one of those ones where someone, I guess, dropped their hat inside the thing and then they jumped over the fence to go get it. And
Yeah.
then they got decapitated or something when the ride came down.
Yeah. There was one story kind of like that, like a slide where a little boy got decapitated. And it was big news.
I know a lady died on Goliath, which I haven't been on that one since the first time I went.
Well, this is kind of a dark note to end this on.
Yeah, like that one she already had heart issues from what I heard. And I can see with how that first drop is alone, because that's like I think a 200-foot drop when it goes up, like slowly creeping, then goes down, normal roller after that.
Hmm.
But that one is a fun one. Didn't go on it last time though because of the line
Yeah.
and being with a group of people. It's like, come on, guy, people, we have to make a decision. We have to go on Ninja though, which is essentially Batman but without the hanging feet. And I think they got rid of their log ride, or at least it wasn't running last time I went.
Yeah.
It's a theme park. It seems like by law, every theme park has to have some type of log ride.
I remember going on a couple of log rides,
Yeah,
but then too, like some of the like I remember some names, but like name rides, they kind of I get
like,
lost on the names a little bit.
like Disney, they got Splash Mountain, so that should tell
Yeah,
you.
Splash Mountain, yeah.
And
Like,
of course, that's right next to Space Mountain, which that was an interesting ride to go on because of all the turns. And then when you actually look at the photo to see what Space Mountain looks like with everything on, you're like, ow. You're like, ooh.
man, but
It's like it's a good thing that's not a hanging foot one.
yeah,
Because the wrong turn and you're the wrong height and the wrong thing, and like, ow, my foot.
we're not coming back to Disneyland.
Yeah. Huh, what do you mean you're gonna sue us? It's your fault for putting your foot there.
But this has been fun, man, and I'm glad we were able to catch up and answer questions and then kind of chat a little bit here and talk about some memories at theme parks and stuff. And
Yeah, we got to keep doing it again.
we're gonna do it again. This is
Yeah.
gonna happen. We're gonna do it again, and we're gonna get up and so thank you, Mario, for joining me and again catching up and check out Mario's page channel and subscribe.
You heard the man. Do it now. Do it now.
Yeah. And but thank you guys out there for watching, for everybody that posted questions, and yeah, it was fun. So we're
Yeah,
gonna do it.
that's always the important part. It always is important for it to be fun.
Yeah, and chill. So, but we'll definitely do this again.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching, And we'll see you later.